Hi there, my name's Mark, and this is my video log about my playlist choice for the Psychomotor domain for this week's assignment. I chose computers and children using computers as my topic for several reasons. I've just witnessed my own child growing up using a computer, and I have a few stories to tell about that are very interesting and fit in with what my uh, so-called argument would be on how the psychomotor domain taxonomy fits in with this topic as far as computers being part of the psychomotor domain. I picked several pretty good videos for my playlist. Most of them are using small children using a computer, some with adults teaching the small children, a couple of the videos with older school children, but those were kind of fun videos, and I'll get into that when I get to that video. But one video that I used was from a young computer whiz, and it basically showed her and her dexterity for using the mouse and the laptop with a finger pad. Uh, she was very proficient with using it and at a very young age, and she's obviously mastered the cognitive end of the computer in order to be able to master the psychomotor uh, skills necessary to use a computer, because I believe both go together very closely, especially for small children. One video was about computer kids using a computer to prepare for life. They talked about learning how to use a mouse, keyboards. They talked about Macs being easier, which was the opinion of the teacher, based on the mouse being an easier type of mouse, probably because it had just one click instead of a right and a left button. Another video had kids using handheld computers to record whale data, and they used it was a science project, and all the kids were able to participate with scientists in viewing humpback whales off the coast of Hawaii. And they all had a handheld Linux computer. They were fourth and fifth graders, and they were instructed to observe the behaviors of the whales and click on certain buttons in the software to indicate certain things. They were trying to get a count of the whales, the types of the whales, and the behavior of the whales. And when combined with the entire class's data collected on it, the project probably was pretty successful, and the kids had a great time. And it really opened my eyes about the uh, what kids are using as far as computers. They're using handhelds where older adults like me, uh, when I finally did get into computers in my 30s, started with a big old PC, and now I'm down to a laptop. But kids with handhelds is something that we cannot overlook in the world of educational technology, because this is what the younger generation is growing up with. And that's probably why you see Google really getting involved with handheld technology, and they've come out with their own phone, and they write a lot of the software so that they can control the advertising on handhelds. But most of the videos were kids having fun with computers, and which brings me to my opinion of why I believe it is a psychomotor domain combined with the cognitive domain. Uh, I've watched my son use a mouse when he was a very young child, age 1.5, and it was difficult to use even until he was 3 or 4. He had tough time, the timing of using the mouse with the arrow on the screen and doing something that made sense, clicking to a button that uh, he needed to use. If when I compare that to watching him grow up playing video games, using the small handheld, controllers. It's just amazing how he mastered video games at such a young age, but some of the computer skills he needed were a little more difficult, and that's one of the reasons I believe that the psychomotor domain applies to small children when you talk about using a keyboard and a mouse. I read the Penn State website about psychodomain taxonomy, and it specifically discusses keyboarding, and I don't think it really focused on children like I'm focusing my video log here, but I see how each of the levels that are in the Penn State web page apply to what I have seen my son go through as a small child. Level one is observing. Well, he started watching me on the computer, as soon as he could pretty much sit up and sit on my lap while I did some work, and then he always wanted to imitate it, and he'd always want to put his hands on the computer and mess me up, but so he was always trying to imitate that, and when he got a little bit older, I'd let him, I'd start bringing him in and showing him some of the buttons and how to use the mouse, and I bought him some software to use, and when I found the right software for him is when he really took off and mastered how to use the mouse and combine the cognitive end of using a computer with the psychomotor use of the keyboard and the mouse together. And the art programs were by far the best ones for him to use, and that leads to the practicing. He went from observing to imitating to practicing, and then he would spend hours on one single art project, and he would bring it back to me over and over with different colors after printing it out. So, it was very easy to link the different levels of taxonomy for the psychomotor domain. And those apply pretty well with what Dr. Snelson listed it, for this week's assignment. Imitation, manipulation, if parents show how to use the keyboard and mouse, where the right buttons are, precision. Once the art program became interesting to him, he constantly strived to make that picture better and use better colors, and he was articulating himself better with more advanced learning games. We got into a game called Brother Bear, and he became very proficient at a game that required rapid use of the mouse and keyboards at the same time, using his fingers on the arrows and then the mouse to do other things. Uh, and anyway, then naturalization, the full muscle memory becomes in sync, just like a sport or an artist or a musician. You're combining the cognitive end of learning how to play the music and read the music with actually playing the instrument. Well, the computer's the same way. You need to understand the computer, the software, how the operating system works, how the game works, and the tools to make the software work at the same time. So anyway, that's my take on the psychomotor domain taxonomy. I thought this was a very interesting topic, and like last week's topic, at first I was skeptical, but when I thought about where this can go with computers, because I like to focus my work on computers, I found it very simple, and then it was very interesting and a very worthwhile subject. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.